from diverse specialties to share knowledge, leadership experiences, and personal journeys that inspire growth and collaboration. There are basically four fundamental pillars that form the vibe, which are physical well being, mental health, financial wisdom, and professional excellence. Through various initiatives, the Vibe strives to build a strong community of women professionals who uplift one another and redefine the landscape of healthcare leadership. I'm Dr. Ritu Johari, consultant diabetologist and metabolic expert practicing in the western suburbs of Mumbai. I have a unique diverse background with decade and a half spent in pharma and now last half decade spent across treating diabetes, thyroid and obesity. Besides clinical practice, I also contribute to research and medical writing as a co-founder of RFECT. But what brings me most pleasure in sharing is the introduction of this exclusive initiative, The Vibe, as a founder of one of its kind platform. I'm blessed to be complemented by my husband, who's an orthopedic surgeon, and our family feels complete with a teen son and a 3-year daughter. With that, let me introduce you to our team Vibe. Dr. Lotika.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Dr. Lotika Purohit, a diabetologist and a lifestyle medicine physician practicing in Colaba for the last 3 decades. Besides that, I am also a visiting faculty at the JJ Group of Hospital for the Diabetes and Obesity Clinics, and I'm also part of the National Faculty of the Research Society for Study of Diabetology in India. Other than that, I love to travel. I love to eat different kind of foods, and of late, it is how to make the food healthier as compared to what it is earlier. Also, I'm a mother to an entrepreneur and an artist, and a partner to the sugar doctor. So now I hand over to Dr. Kavita Rane for her introduction.
Hi, good afternoon, ma'am, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Kavita Rane. I am a diabetologist and obesity expert at Chembur. I have founded my diabetes total clinic at Rani Hospital, Apollo Spectra, and Inlex General Charitable Hospital in Chembur. I love to draw, paint, sketch. I love abstract art. I love EDM music and techno. And I love chatting with all you amazing women and the awesome speakers that we have on this platform. Over to Dr. Pranjali.
Thank you, Kavita. So, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Dr. Pranjali Shah, Director and Chief Diabetologist at Eye Heal and App Diabetes Clinic. It's an eye and diabetes specialty center in Bombay. I love treating young diabetic patients and help them live longer and stronger. Also, I love to create awareness about diabetes and prevention, about how can we prevent metabolic diseases and diabetes. But if you don't find me in my clinic, you will see me doing farming, hiking, playing with my pets, and doing exploring nature with my kids. I truly believe if we have a balanced life, we will be a better healthcare professionals. Thank you so much. Over to Dr. Rukia.
Hello, ma'am. Welcome here today. I'm Dr. Rukia Surya Sheikh. I'm a diabetes, thyroid, and obesity specialist. I've been practicing in Mulund for the last 15 years at my clinic, Blue Circle Clinic. And in these years, I'm enjoying managing the sugar levels, but I also enjoy is, how life just throws a ball on you and taking care of that. So while I'm not in my clinic, you will find me that I'm working out, playing carom. I also enjoy is this great company and amazing conversations that make you think, that make you laugh. And lately, I have started painting. It's my way of adding little color and calm to this chaos of daily life. So I'm really excited to be here today among such inspiring women in medicine to learn, to share, and to grow together. Welcome here, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So as you can see, today we have Dr. Rupali Basu for you. So our theme for you is From Traditional Roots to Healthcare Titan, a woman leader building future-ready healthcare institutions. As you know, each time for our Hexalog, we try to get you women from different domains of medicine. And today, since it's the last day of January, last Hexalog of January, we bring you the one who's well known for transforming the healthcare sector. So keep your questions ready and put them in the comment section. We will ask the best ones during the audience ask section to you. A persona with elegance, duty galore, but knowledge supreme and leadership at the helm. That's Dr. Rupali Basu for you. Whether it comes to her profession, leveraging newer techniques and adopting newer system upgrades at the hospital, or leading the India's graceful wear, the sari, through her sari women's get-togethers, celebrating the Indian weave. A hexalogue with Dr. Rupali Basu. An honor to have you, ma'am, today with us. A very warm welcome. And just a quick question, how did you feel when you got an invitation to be with us on the Vibe?
It sounded very interesting, Ritu. It was hexalog. It's a new word. I love new words. I love new communication notes. I like new things. I like to innovate myself. So when I heard the word hexalog, it rang in the bell that what does it mean? Then I understood there must be six, something to do with six. Then I understood that all you beautiful, talented, brilliant doctors are there doing a hexalog, and you have asked me to be there. I was very happy. It's very interesting, and I'm sure, and I wish that you carry on for a long period of time, interview and meet, interact with many doctors. Even I don't know, it's only open to the doctors, then it's only
Yes,
doctors,
so far, yes.
but you can actually interacting with people gives you so much more
Yes.
energy, vibe, knowledge, everything put together. You feel recharged
Absolutely.
and refreshed. So it's very interesting.
Wonderful. And trust me, ma'am, I think whenever I see you, I think you are a doyen at communications. I see you meeting celebrities. I see you meeting a lot of people. So, of course, I also adore you for that because, yes, a lot of times conversations build a lot of knowledge as well. A lot of knowledge transfer happens through these communications. That is what this platform is also all about. So, maybe, ma'am, allow me to introduce you for a bit. For the audience, Dr. Rupali Basu is indisputably the most prominent face in the Eastern India's healthcare sector and so far going global now. As managing director and CEO, she's at the helm of affairs at the over 75-year-old Woodlands Multi-Speciality Hospital, which is a part of the RPSG group. Dr. Basu graduated from RG Kar Medical College, Kolkata, and has done her post-graduation training in health and hospital management from Harvard, Delhi, and Kolkata universities. She's also been the past president of the Association of Hospitals of Eastern India, which is the AHEI, and is quite well recognized by the industry, government, as well as media as one of the most successful business heads in the hospital sector in India. She also sits on various boards of Tata Metallics, Tata Tinplate, C Limited, Goodrich Group Limited, and is a prominent committee member in CII, ICC, BCCNI, and FICCI FICCI. During a stellar 30-year career, she is credited for making the whole treatment process at hospital for patients much more comfortable and credible experience through introduction of quality systems and accreditation in healthcare. Reforms in the sector introduced by her also charted the financial makeover of healthcare institutions and have earned her a name as a turnaround specialist. Her message to women in general is to be more aware of finance and money matters. Be aware of how money moves in the world and specifically what is happening in the country's economy. She also feels that women should find some me time from the hours they devote to work and family. Coming from a small town in Durgapur, Dr. Basu's stellar career and achievements stand tall as an example for all the women. While answering the needs of a professional career, going beyond call of duty, Dr. Basu has also managed to remain equally focused as a wife and a mother. She remembers fondly, for instance, that she's dropped her daughter to school every day from kindergarten to class 12. And of course, yes, she is now a qualified veterinary practitioner working in the New Zealand. Dr. Basu is also chairperson and elixir of life of the 650 member strong Doctors and Saris Group Kolkata, an organization of enterprising women doctors based mostly in Kolkata. So, with that, I of course welcome Dr. Basu and pass on the baton to Dr. Kavita Rane for the first segment of our Hexalog.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ritu. So, good afternoon, ma'am. So, this first segment is about roots, vision, and early leadership. You come from Durgapur and rose to lead one of Eastern India's most respectable hospitals. Your journey reflects early shaped leadership mindset. Usually, choosing medicine as a profession is depicted as a doctor with a stethoscope. it would be interesting to hear your journey to move away from the hands that held the stethoscope to the one leading those systems supporting the hands with a stethoscope. So, once graduated from RG Kar Medical College, what were the influences that led you towards post graduation in hospital management, like family, friends, environment? What was it?
So let me go back to Durgapur. You mentioned Durgapur. Durgapur is a still township, very neat, very picturesque, built by Dr. Bidhan Chandra Roy, whose birth date and death date is July 1, and we celebrate the National Doctors Day. And he created Durgapur Steel Plant and the township around it. And I was born there, and my schooling, the early childhood was in Durgapur, and the life there was so organized, so structured. I used to ride a bicycle to school. I could have ridden. I rode Lambretta, which Baba had, and I also learned how to drive an ambassador car, which Baba had. And we were a family of engineers, physics, chemistry, and mathematics. And then somehow I was good in academically, and not only academically. I think I in my school I must mention that I used to do a lot of other things other than only academics. I got an all-rounder award at the which we used to have a shield in class 9. But that I used to do NCC. I was doing rifle shooting. Even yesterday, day before yesterday, when 26th January Republic Day camp was happening, we were told that we learned to we were army. So I was a sergeant with a lanyard, and when we were told that if the country is on war and if the army is exhausted, then we will be called to fight for the country. So that, and we used to have our own dresses. We used to shine our belt buckle and our pom poms, and it was like a very organized way we did our schooling and the entire childhood. I did see a movie in class 10 when I didn't see a movie before. So, but we had good club, officers club, Durgapur club. We had very structured badminton training, swimming, every aspects of a good childhood was there, and very focused on academics and also focused on dances. I've learned Kathak dancing. I've learned Rabindra Sangeet. So all of us, had to learn music and dancing or sitar. Later on, I did 2 years of sitar, but I couldn't continue that much because my thumb, index finger was getting it. When you put the finger on the strings, you get you get
Yeah.
cut initially, and then later on the skin becomes thickened. But I didn't allow that much to happen. But anyway, I did Kathak. I used to play badminton, so I was the district champion in badminton. So a lot of things used to happen together along with studies. And I think I used to paint also. And somehow I think that overall, that looking through life in every aspect, not only academics, which normally all of us do, that we are focusing only on academics, but we had a very different kind of childhood. I remember that while coming back from school, we used to have a very, it's Chotnagpur Plateau, so it's not very stable ground like San Francisco. It has undulation. So while coming back, I used to sit on the cycle and put my feet on top of the cycle handle, and used to just run down because it was like that kind of a road. While going up, it was like you're really pushing yourself, but while coming down, it used to be so much fun. And I learned that a tree-lined road is called an avenue. Still remember that in childhood, that a road is just a road, but if there are trees next to the road, that's called an avenue. And that childhood, I think I learned to be. My best subject was biology, so I used to study very well. I still remember one of my examination khatas. I used to copy the book into the examination paper. I wrote the labio rohita, the rohu fish, in the other way, not this way. In the horizontally, I drew this big fish. My examination copies used to kept in the school. There were 2, 3 examinations, I think biology and primarily biology, which they used, and also I think geography, because I remember again rivers of tributaries of river Ganges came in, and I drew the whole thing first with colored pencils and all that, and then wrote a little bit. So I had this I don't know how I expressed, but I had one more. My next club, who used to come second, Moshumi. She's also a doctor, but she used to write a lot. But my thing, writing was may not be that much, but there was a drawing with it and a color drawing. I think that made a lot of difference between the way I looked at things in childhood. I was very unhappy with most things. I used to be crying in every little. I was finicky. So, but then at the same time, I did a lot. And from there, when I was growing up, it was only either you become a doctor or an engineer. We didn't have much of other professions in those days. And and for me, Calcutta was a big place from Durgapur. And so I got through and went into Calcutta, studied medicine. When we were doing post graduation, I knew that I always had a very atypical way of looking at clinics. I did my house job in Gynae, did some 40 deliveries a day because it was a public hospital, Arjikar Medical College. There were 1,200 beds, and you had admission days were like that. But you had 40 deliveries a day, next day your major OT, then minor OT. It used to be like 36-hour constant duty. We house staffs used to actually run the hospitals and did very good clinical work. But at the same time, I knew that I have to do something to make sure that the hospitals do better. I used to find faults in areas which are not kept well, not clean, patients are not met, things like that. So I think those angles were there from the very beginning. And that's how when I passed out, I asked everybody that, what do you do? There was no hospital management courses at that time. So I've been told that if you have to do administration, you have to either do public health, so MD PSM you have to do, and we had All India Institute of Hygiene and Public Health in Calcutta. So I did my DMCW there. I stood first. I wanted to do MD PSM, but before that I got my first job, and I joined Marie Stopes Clinics as the project doctor. Anyway, and then the work started. I think every step in my life, I had something different and some different way of looking at life. I think my outlook Nazariya was different. So that probably gave me back different outputs. So, and whatever came to me, I kind of tried to do it the best possible way.
Yeah.
It's a lot of effort, lot of effect has come in from those school days to my engineering parents, to the structured way of Durgapur was, and the ambition to be in Kolkata and be a doctor. I think all put together, I was all destined to be a hospital administrator. That's what I think.
That's amazing, ma'am. What you're saying is your environment and experiences have molded you to think creatively. So you're very observant, is what I get from what you just told me. Your small experiences, where going from the top to the bottom of the road, where the wind is blowing in your hair. So you're
Absolutely.
more of a visual, kinesthetic kind of person. That's amazing. So, moving on to the next question, how did your training in health and hospital management, including exposure to global institutes like Harvard, change the way you looked at Indian healthcare systems?
So, the moment the career wise, I think I first few years, 4.5 years, I was in the NGO sector. I was with Marie Stopes Clinics, which was doing reproductive health clinics. So I used to do, MTPs and sterilizations, and also did the knowledge attitude practice services, the patient education in the villages. And it used to be a mobile van which used to take to the villages to do the those clinics there and come back. And at those days I was but I used to tell myself that I do the best MTPs in the country, because the way we used to do a medical termination of pregnancy with the way we did it in the college was very different. We used ovum forceps. Here I used Harman cannula. And it's a within a, it's just like the carbon cannulas used to be brought from London, from UK, and we used to see the sack, that whether that is, the termination is done or not, and that's way back in 91, 92. I'm talking about, so years back. And then I think that from that NGO sector, when you're working with people, which is fine, but then after 4 years or 5 years, you started feeling that, what am I doing? I'm not really working in hospital. And I, called up one. My jobs are all, they have real stories. Everyone. I've never applied properly to any job, but it was like one phone call to the medical superintendent Kothari Center. That I asked the telephone operator, took the newspaper, took the number, I called the number, and asked the telephone operator, who's the head of medical department. And so they gave me to the line to the medical superintendent. I said that, sir, I am Dr. Upadhyay. I didn't even know his name. I said that I am working in this and that, and I want to work in a hospital. Is there anything for me? On the phone, without knowing anything. And he said that he understood something in my talking. He said that, come over. And I came over and I got a job in as the Secretary Medical Service, which is a very senior job, the top four, and for a 350 bedded hospital with everything there. Where Saurabh Ganguly, after his Lord's gastrocnemius injury, came in there. MS Ghosh operated, Ashok Banerjee there. It's a very, very good, multi-specialty hospital. Very done very well. So even going back to that clinic, the Marie Stopes clinics, we were not only that ovum forceps and carbon cannula, we did counseling, and there were counseling forms in those days, 1991. So the process orientation and the completeness of anything that we do in a perfect manner came in again at the workplace, and I kind of took to it. So opportunities came and you deliver. That's how I think the relationship happened. For when the opportunities came in here, administration came in to me. It was just a platform. You get a platform, and I work there. Every nook and corner I found out. I created new ways of giving rounds. I could do a whole lot of things. I can't even tell you how many things that I could do in changing administration. Only thing is that I've done so much, so many new things. Is there a disturbance there, or it's okay? It's okay. So I was thinking that a lot of new things we could do, but the point is that the moment you are there as the head of the head in the head position or leadership position, you can actually deliver. The moment you are out of that organization, what happens to that organization is not. I thought that I'm doing it for the posterity, but that posterity doesn't remain. The current leadership of a hospital, which is a very complex, dynamic organization, is very vital. So whatever we do, we bring in the changes. The leadership changes, everything changes.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that challenge will be closed at what point, but I've seen that only too often, that leadership changes, thing changes. So I think the answer to that would be by creating processes, which is what we have been able to do. Again, I have a role to play in 2004 when we learned the quality systems. That every activity in a hospital, there has to be an SOP. There has to be standard guidelines. There has to be, written down procedures. And I think that's how our hospitals today are becoming more and more stabler. Because the challenge is always, when you are there, you are doing the hospital is the best hospital, whatever the best that you can do. But what about everybody else? What about all the hospitals? What about every Indian? Are they getting the same quality care which I would like to give? They're not. So the only answer is that we go by process. That is how US has done. Now that is how UK has done. Process-oriented hospitals is what last. I think from 2004 onwards, I'm talking. We are keeping talking. I think we are doing also, but we have not been able to do it for everybody. I don't think every hospital is got that got that processes set up so well that everybody gets standardized care, which is what they should. Every Indian should get standardized care.
That is so
Yeah.
true. Sorry, 1 second. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. So my next question is, when you first sorry, can you hear me still?
Yeah, I can hear you.
When you first took charge of Woodlands at Woodlands, what was the one non-negotiable principle you decided would guide every decision?
Integrity and nothing else.
Amazing.
I have ran private hospitals. Never in my life have given a doctor a target. Never in my life I've asked anybody to do 2 tests, which we keep hearing. Never I've asked any doctor ever to do anything wrong, non-indicated, things where keep patients longer in the hospital. Never. So I think integrity goes beyond anything and everything. Whatever we do, all doctors, we must give our best, the best possible way and most integrity way. We get to hear a lot about that we are not so clean. We do unindicated surgery, we do extra tests, and those things are there for us. Even in the government setup, there are different kinds of issues of integrity comes up. And I think I have, fortunately, I have been able to uh, keep my integrity on whatever, whoever, wherever I worked. So that was the first thing, and that was the last thing.
Okay.
That will be always the first thing and last thing.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Moving on to the next segment, that would be with Dr. Lotika.
Yeah. So, Dr. Basu, it's really very nice to have you with us. I will speak in the next, I will ask you some questions in the second segment, which is about transforming healthcare institutions. We all know that healthcare institutions have transformed a lot, especially in the last 3 to 4 decades. You have been instrumental in transforming the patient care delivery within the hospital sector. Being a woman and being a driving force behind quality systems upgrade in the country's healthcare system is really pure inspiration. You are often called a turnaround specialist, which is a spectacular title. What does real healthcare turnaround involve beyond financial recovery?
So I keep saying that turnaround specialist. Of course, when I have mostly worked in private sector, and when somebody's investment is there, the money has to come back. So there has to be many a times the organizations are not doing financially well, and I'm not talking about chasing a certain target, but keeping a profit and loss balance well, and you are making surplus so that you're putting in your capex, your expansion, because that's what is necessary. So the financial health of any hospital is very vital. So
Mhm.
that is definitely comes first, but that comes in only when you do the care and your clinical excellence better. If you can't treat well, if you can't give care to the patients who are coming to you, who needs the care, if you don't give them the right kind of care, then the money doesn't come. So the first thing is always the brand hospital is to do with the quality of care that we give. And throughout my life, I have worked on that: give good quality care, be it whoever, housekeeping department, F&B department, doctors, the quality, the nursing, everybody, or the supply chain management or the marketing. Everything has to work with the highest quality, and we must give good quality care. We must be true. Wherever we are not been able to do, we must be able to say it also. So if you keep doing good quality care, then the money will
Yes.
follow, and you communicate well. That's what I think. You communicate because the brand is all about communication. What
Yes.
message you're
That's true. Communication is the key in all these things. Now, introducing quality system and accreditations, of course, has been a game changer. What resistance did you face and how did you win people over?
So the resistance will be there when people don't know they're going on. People don't like changes. We human beings, we don't like much changes. We are not seeking for changes. So whenever anything that new that you are bringing in,
Yeah.
people, especially the doctors, all of us,
Yes.
we are the
Yes.
one who first say that no, this will not help me. That will take more time. What is this new technology? I don't want this new instrument. And because everything is it takes time, and you have to put in that extra learning time, and our time is so short. I understand that bit. We are doing so many things together. We have to handle family, we have to do our work, and we cannot when it really cut off from patients or hospitals. We are
True.
24/7, 365 days working. So the time pressure on us is, I think, is very high. So, so people are, especially doctors and also the others, they don't want to really change, and we don't want to give extra time. And anything to do with quality systems, you have to give that little time. You have to study. You have to, when you are doing a SBAR technique and giving an handover, you have to read those, and that takes a little time rather than saying that ye le lo. You just kind of one shift comes and other shift comes. If there's a handover, then the staff has to stay back. They have to
Yes.
get over to the next shift, and it takes that much
That's right.
time. And
That's
nobody
right.
wants to do all that. So people are
Yeah.
like that, but you have to be like a go-getter. You have to be after them. You have to cajole, give whatever incentive, talk to them, make sure that they understand the plus point of it. Everybody has to be understanding that whole game changer theory. It is a game changer. Quality systems,
Yes.
they are
Oh
game
yes,
changers.
it is a big game
If
changer
they
because
understand, they will.
earlier hospitals were just doctor driven, and now it has become like a healthcare with a whole ecosystem, and everybody plays their role in that. So that was a very interesting talk with you. And now I hand over to Dr. Pranjali Shah for the next segment.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ludhiga. Uh, Thank you, ma'am. So next segment, I think, is very close to my heart, and we really want to understand your secret formulas. So in next segment, we'll be talking about women, money, and leadership. So we have been playing roles like mother, daughter,
Yes.
doctor, entrepreneur, but how to manage all the angles? So ma'am, we know that you are a mother to a very well educated and accomplished daughter, but I'm sure you might be struggling to manage your duties at the hospital and the daughter. So, what is the secret formula that you managed? And we want to have practical experiences from this.
Pranjali, we are very good. You just don't need my formula. I think we manage so much with ourselves. We do everything together. I can only cite you that I have a husband who's a behavioral scientist by profession, and he gives me a feedback every day that how bad I have been. But what's the fun? When I have tried to give the best possible I could do, I have not been gone to the. I can't do the cooking and all that. I've done probably some 30 interviews and got one final cook who can cook well. So I can do those interviews. I can give her good salary. I can keep her for the cooking because I can't do. And there has to be a morning breakfast and a lunch and a
Yes.
tiffin and evening snack and a dinner and everything else. So the home is, we have to manage our home, we have to manage family, we have to look after the children, and I don't want to actually give that away. So I have done that, and I have done it. I've used my whatever the planning brain that I have to manage it in a way that I can do everything. So like the way I had to have the best person Monju is there for years now, who does the cooking. Now I had when my daughter was born, I think I did a huge number of interviews to get the right ayah. So those kind of things, and then certain things you give away. Like we have a very old house. It's a big house, but old house, and we just can't really. I can't do much things there. When nitty gritties of making sure that lot of dinners and friends coming over. I don't know. Rather, we'll go to the club and entertain. So there's that little bit of sacrifice. You are not being able to really keep doing things for home. So things like you, I think it's a matter of how you're balancing. That's the secret formula, that you are balancing yet at peace. the money that I've earned in being that corner office, which at certain point I was the highest paid executive in the country for about 4 or 5 years. And I think I have spent so much money in getting those sarees and jewelry and bags and LVs and all the things. But I've enjoyed it. So and nobody says, Shwanjit doesn't say, we're very compartment space focused people, three people at home. So my daughter will have her own thing, Shwanjit will have her thing, I have his thing, and I will have my own thing. So
I think that's the
he
best
doesn't say
investment, ma'am.
anything about spending my money. He doesn't say anything. So Bindas, I've spent so much money I've spent in, and today I think that I have spent so much money on, branded bags and jewelry and juta and all that. But I enjoy fashion. I like to be fashionable. I have lots of friends. I go out for teas and coffees and dinners and party. Not so much a party, but I do teas, more like teas and lunches also at times. And I meet so many people. I have such large societal frame. I've been part of so many ladies organizations, so many
Yes, yes.
and I love doing that. And you like to be fashionable, you like to wear. I spend, and nothing happens. So it's a kind of, I think, few things you get, you let go, and few things you can't let go, and that
Ma'am,
balance
is
is.
there any checklist or something when you get up in the morning and then you see this I need to see, or like to be organized, and when you're managing both the roles?
So my checklists are day before, not on the day. So I do it. I plan my next day very thoroughly. What will I wear? What juta? What kapda? Where I'll go? How
Amazing.
where should I do? Everything is planned. My calendar is Google Calendar is always, if there's any invitation, it will be on Google Calendar then and there. Any photographs that comes in goes to an album. I'm very organized in that man. So
Yes.
in a way, I think
That's the secret, I think, which we female doctors should really follow this, to be organized and do your work at that particular time. And ma'am, you strongly
my money is my money. All my bank accounts, my money is all, I handle my money. So
excellent. So my next question is related to money only, ma'am. So you strongly advocate financial awareness among women, and why do you feel this is still an under-discussed area, even in the medical professionals? So do you, or would you like to give one financial mantra to all the practicing women physician that they should start implementing at their early career?
uh, when it is that this is true is that, when we do networking, it's said that if the men does 10 networking, 8 of them will bring out some business out of it. If we
Yes,
do networking, 2 will come out, and 10 we will adda and do something and do nothing about the finance or money and deal making.
yes,
So I think women don't have that in us, that we need to look after money. We have been provided for so long that we don't give importance to that at all. I have seen doctors and even email addresses are together, bank accounts are together. I think from the very beginning, when we have started earning, the independence is very important. That you need to have your own bank accounts. Today's day and age, everything is digital. So start saving from the beginning. About 20% of your earning has to be saved. 20-30% has to be saved. You need to earn, and whatever the spending has to happen within the earning that you do. Jitna chandar hai, utna hi pair philao. So if you start earning a lot, then you spend. And if you don't earn, then don't spend, because spending is on, we know very well that what is the actual importance of a dress, of a pile khandwala 50,000 ka kurta. What is there's no importance actually. It's only you feel good wearing it.
yes.
So that part is important. But I think it's very, very vital that we need to be aware of our money. We need to keep our things. We can always do it with that. This idea that we don't understand money is what I don't like. I think we all kind of think that, we won't be able to keep our jewelry. We won't be able to keep our wealth. This is not on money. The moment you start saying that, no, this is my money, I will keep my hissa, I will do like the way he
I will
does,
manage
I
something.
think it will happen. And today's day and today's generation, they do that. They have their space. They like their own. They are, of course, much slower than what we do. We push ourselves up much faster. My daughter says that, Ma, I will never be like you. I will be much slower. I will have much more work-life balance. I will not work so much. I don't need so much friends. They're more satisfied, and that is how she will be. And it's okay if that makes her happy. Finally, everything end of everything, the positivity, the happiness, the smile is so important.
That is more important, exactly, ma'am. Thank you so much for answering my questions, ma'am. And next, we'll move on to the segment 4. Over to you, Dr. Ritu.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pranjali and Dr. Rupali. Of course, we are hearing you all inspired already. So, my topic is identity beyond the boardroom. You've managed a demanding career. You've been recognized as one of the most successful businesswomen in the healthcare sector. While being deeply present as a mother, we just heard, and a wife, and of course, the one who also likes living life to the fullest. That's how I would put it. This talks about Dr. Rupali beyond the boardroom. So, my first question, and I have just two questions for you, two distinct ones. One being, you've held leading positions in the hospital, being the past president of Association of Hospitals of Eastern India, as well as on board of various league institutes. How do you switch between the Dr. Rupali boss at work and the Dr. Rupali fun-loving self?
I never switch, Ritu, and I'm the same everywhere. I just don't switch. I can't do that.
Lovely.
Whatever I am, I'm genuine. If I'm little upset, the face dikhta hai. If I'm
Mhm.
unhappy or angry, or sometimes that also dikhta hai. So whatever is there inside, I think I'm very truly transparent person. I would have definitely loved to be, some stoically, where I will be different, and something else will be going inside. I can't do that. I can, as a corporate executive, we learn to keep confidentiality. That is a
Right.
training.
True.
So we
True.
can't talk about. I might be showing my emotion, but I won't tell you everything. That is definitely
Absolutely.
not on,
Yes,
because
because
that's
when it comes as an
training.
authority in a boardroom, of course, yes, you need to, read
Yeah,
the room and accordingly. Yeah.
there are confidentiality which we are trained, but at the same time, I think your question is, what was your question? I'm just getting the
My
cue.
question was, how
So
do
I think
you differentiate Dr. Rupali, boss at work, because you have a level of authority versus when you are, Dr. Rupali, the fun-going, fun-loving person. So, you're outside your boardroom and then, how do you make that mood shift? Because, of
the
course, when
only
you're
thing
in
is
a
that
position,
I do that very easily. No filter, no nothing, no planning. But at
mm,
home, when I'm at home, I think we in Lee Road, where our home is number one in Lee Road. Baba was, 1970 got Padma Shri, did the first open heart surgery in the
wow,
country, 1957.
superb. Oh,
So the Baba,
lovely.
as a Dr. Ajit Kumar Basu. So, and they were, the how the Michael Debicki has been home one day.
Oh,
So
lovely.
it's a very famous home, and then
Right.
that has a lot of rules. And Shonji,
I
who
understood.
when I got married, Baba Ma Dujani, they both were not there. But at the same time, he wants to keep that old rules, regulations, the learning, the way he was brought up. He wants to keep those intact, because it was so close, so much happened, and so he lives in the past almost. So that rule at home, we still keep that as it is. And
Right.
I'm different, but I have managed to keep because it's a Lee Road thing, it's a Basu
Mhm.
thing. So I had maintained that, in spite of maybe I may not be liking, but today, after 30
Perfect.
years, I have started liking it. We
Yeah,
sit on
I think
breakfast
it's
table with
legacy
proper
special.
leisure. We don't sit in the sofa and eat. We have never done it. So it's all meals have to be placed on the. It's very westernized. At the
Right.
same time, a lot of rules. Lot of rules in the very simple things like a bottle cannot be put on the floor, because floor is supposed to
Yeah,
be dirty. It's very
absolutely.
clean, but it is supposed to be a pani ka bottle cannot be niche. It has to be put somewhere. Simple things like that, but
These
it's very
etiquettes,
almost yeah,
I
regimentally.
totally agree. I think these are just etiquettes that one can have at their home, and I truly appreciate. And I think these are legacy opportunities that not everybody gets. So it's a treasure that you hold. Really an honor to hear from you about that. So now my second question, which is a little diverse, is about the traditional weave. we see you fashionable, we see you in various kind of attires as well. And you are quite a dire supporter of the Indian weave. We see you donning beautiful 6 yards of elegance and being there at different exhibitions as well. Supporting weavers and artisans through different advocacy of the sari gives healthcare leadership a completely cultural dimension. So why is this particular cause important to you? Anything about that?
So again, from very childhood, I'm very fashionable. I was very when I learned tailoring from Baba.
Mhm.
So I can actually, if you give me a piece of cloth, I'll make a kameez for you or a blouse for you. So I
Uh,
can make or petticoat for you. I can know I have learned tailoring. So I did that. With embroidery also we learned in school. And somehow cuts, color, dresses was from the very childhood actually. I was very, very keen in that. Somehow probably the Baba was also very fashionable from their very simple background, but very fashionable. So probably I have seen him. He was very handsome,
got
good
the
looking.
genes. Uh-huh.
So I used to look up to Baba, and then I'm very same look alike like him, and got that gene. Probably that
Lovely. Yeah.
focus on fashion, and which went very multifold in college. College, I used to do tailoring for even my classmates, and
Super.
because I used to make for them. And today also they say that whenever we meet, they say that they talk about the whatever the simple clothes, but it used to have a different card, some innovation. And when it became a little more money came into hand, when you can start buying your buying power and
Yes.
stuff, then
Correct.
I just bindas went into it. So I had designed sarees. I have I've done exhibitions actually. I've designed about 1,000 sarees
Wonderful.
and we had done 4 exhibitions, but that was a period of time, about a year or so. And then I buy a lot of sarees. I love
I see that. I see that, and ma'am, it's
work.
an honor to
And
know a volcano of talent like you. And we'll really look ahead to meet you someday and look at your wardrobe of wonderful, amazing collections of saris and jewelries as well. So with that,
one formula, Ritu, I must share
yes,
is that I
yes,
buy 30, 40 sarees every year, but I also give away. So I
wow.
don't hoard much.
Let me see you giving away.
I that's my friend circle all keep on asking. I give them also, so it happens that way. Lastly, lately
Super.
I'm not buying that many. Once you don't have the corporate role so much, then you
Yes,
don't need to
yes.
buy so many.
I
Because
totally
everything
understand.
is very at work, so I used to buy a lot. These days I
I do
don't buy
understand.
that many. So, but I have given away a lot of my possessions. So I don't
Do understand, ma'am.
what they call hoarding. I don't do that. I also want to give away, give to
Super.
others,
So
give to others.
super, super. So with that, I'll pass on the baton to Dr. Rukia for the next segment.
Ma'am, the audience and us have all been mesmerized listening to your journey, the any role that you take up head on and you are totally into it and you give your best at it with integrity, as you said, being the cornerstone in whatever you do, whether it is designing, creating Facebook groups. It's not easy to have 40,000 followers. So it's amazing that you're doing that. And with that, being extremely at the top of your position in leadership roles. So the audience definitely have asked multiple questions, but the best question, or rather the questions which are pertinent to the doctors, especially coming from a health sector, how does one handle a mob situation in the, because our audiences are mainly doctors and they do have hospitals. So we want to understand from the specialist here that how does one handle a mob situation?
So I have handled plenty of those in my career, and I'm sure we all have done it, and we will all have to do it because of the simple reason our type of population is such. We have diverse variety of people. So many of us are working in the government sector, many of us in private smaller hospitals, some of us at bigger hospitals. The ones which have bigger hospitals have got more layers. So you have security guards, you have this manager, that manager. So there is a bit of a guarding. But the organizations where hospitals where you don't have too many layers, then you are actually at the behest of what you want to do. And many times we get manhandled, we are killed, we are injured. That keeps on happening. We keep on looking at that, and we keep on talking about to the government that keep this guards and that nothing happens actually. So a
Right.
large portion of our hospitals are very unguarded. So what do you do when those kind of things happen? You
Exactly.
end up doing it. So I think what I would do is that wherever you are working, you must create an ecosystem of your own. A managing of few people, from nurses, from technicians, the interaction with people. Actually, we doctors are not really good interactors. We are not very good networking persons. So that's my observation. But today's doctors are much better. Olden days, it used to be even more difficult. But the more you interact with people, the more you have a group of your own. They kind of give you those shields, because after all, you need the shield to talk. I have seen my lab at one point was burning, and I had to And then there was one time I remember the 2,000 students from Jadavpur University came in because one of their classmates died. So they did a candle march in the sitting on the. And then what I did was I came down. I went. You have to also assess if it's students with candle march, quiet, silent. You can actually go there and start talking. But if there are people who is coming to kill you, you need security. You can't go there and get yourself injured. So that those kind of you have to assess. Probably we have to assess and handle. But we have to every time we have to face, and we have to
Right.
sometimes we get injured and get killed, and sometimes we come out well. So
Right.
ideally, Government of India should give all hospitals layers of security. There has to be, when the doctors have to be protected. You cannot be out in the open handling,
Yes.
because people don't understand that there can be complications. There can be, whatever you think and what you are saying, there is always a disconnect. What you are saying to them that this might happen, they might think that you haven't said anything. So miscommunications are happening all the time. And we know how inexact medicine is.
Yes.
How inexact. We never is, it is never a exact science. So we
Yes.
deal with
Yes.
all that, and these are all consequences. We have to keep
Right.
empowering ourselves a little more, probably.
Thank you, ma'am. And so now moving forward to the last segment of today's Vibe Live, which is the rapid fire segment. And it's time that we lighten up with this white pulse where I ask you quick questions and I want answers very quickly, which is instinctive and honest, just like you are. So let us go with it. The first
Okay.
question is one leadership quality you value the most.
I think again I'll talk about integrity.
Okay. A book or thought that influenced your professional life.
I think Mahatma Gandhi is what was it about the change you want to see.
You be the change that
be
you
the
want
change
to see.
yourself. Yeah.
Right. That's fantastic. You have actually set
I
standards
didn't
at
read
many
your questions.
places.
Huh? I am not prepared at all for your fireside. I'm just doing it absolutely
Ma'am,
Needless
no
all
to
problem.
sections.
Absolutely. If given a chance, what alternate career would Dr. Rupali choose?
Fashion designer. Probably a fashion.
Fantastic. That comes with sari fabric you love wearing the most, handloom or silk or anything, which is your most favorite one?
Love silks and
Silk.
heavy silks, heavy flowy silks like Kanjivarams and Benares.
Oh, interesting. Okay. One myth about women you would strongly like to stand against and change.
This financial illiteracy. Women
Fantastic, ma'am. That is actually, that's why one of the pillars of this vibe that we have, where we want women to take control of their own
have money,
finances.
own
Right.
paisa.
Absolutely. A morning routine you never skip.
I'm washing my face many times. I use natural oil-free face wash, and I do it many times. It's almost like removing the top layer.
Okay. Okay. That's something nice to know. And what is your definition of success today in one line?
Success is, at the end of the day, you need to be peacefully sleeping. You need to be at peace with your mindset. You need to be good with your health. You need to be able to do whatever you wanted to do personally. It's
Right.
success is very personal, and whatever I wanted to do, if I can do it, if I can sleep well, if I can have a good physique. I think that's
Yeah.
success.
That was absolutely sharp, sincere, and so authentic, just as what Vibe stands for. It has been so amazing to hear from you. Uh, it's been such wonderful to hear your thoughts on all aspects that we have, heard. So over to you, Dr. Lotika, for the closing remark.
So it really has been a very enriching time for all of us to hear your stories, your journey, and how you move from a doctor, a medical student to a healthcare professional, and now you are along the way you were also nurturing your hobbies of embroidery and tailoring and wearing nice saris and all that. So it has been really very nice, and there have been a lot of take home things. For me, integrity is something that I really like, that you said that integrity is what comes first, and that what is what always will come first. That's such a powerful thing. Let me ask everybody, what have they learned from here? Dr. Kavita?
Hi, thanks, Dr. Latika. So for me, since we have a hospital which is 52 beds, I love the fact that ma'am said SOPs are necessary and processes need to be in place. And trust me, I have been looking into operations of the hospital for the past 6 years, and yes, that is the only thing that helps. The others, they go on strike if there are no processes in place. So it is really important. And thank you so much.
Yeah. Dr. Pranjali?
So exactly, and with you, Kavita, since I'm also handling internal operations in my hospital, so I was just keeping in mind about the SOPs and processes, and I've been struggling to work on it. But yes, I would definitely work on it because systems are very important. And another thing is, if leadership changes, the system should not change. That's the main thing. So we need to work on our processes. And second thing, there are many, but the two things are like my staffs and everybody used to tell me, ma'am, please start wearing saris. Why are you in the scrubs? Ma'am, today onwards, you are my inspiration. So I will start wearing the saris because it was so nice listening to you. And actually, I was, thinking, next Vibe Live, I'll be in sari. So thank you so much, ma'am. Over to you, Dr. Rukia.
So I have worn a sari today because it was Dr. Rupali Basu coming in.
I
I have,
you were traveling to Bangalore and I'm just in office.
ma'am, I have only 2 saris in my wardrobe. This has been gifted by my friend, and
No.
that's why I said, okay, I will keep it for a special occasion, which is today, because I am in live conversation with Dr. Rupali Basu. So that makes it more special for me today over here. But like Dr. Lotika said, integrity being the most important thing, the corners, the heart of everything that you do. So if that is in place, I think everything else would be great. And but one thing that I will learn from you and will start doing is have my checklist a day before. So yeah, not start doing it on the day in the morning. I think I would like to do it a day prior. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Ritu.
I've been an ardent fan of Dr. Rupali, so I'm so glad that today I am, face to face in this tete-a-tete with her. And quietly, I think I would like to quote two things. One is, of course, the fact that when we live for ourselves and the happiness, the smile that comes on our face, I think that is what fuels not only the entire effort that we are putting in, but also the environment gets lightened up, and people around us also get motivated to do even better. So I guess it definitely makes a lot of sense to have the me time, to spend time, money on yourself, to understand how it is important to manage your finances, know your worth. So financial literacy, of course, becomes one of the key messages for me as well, Dr. Rupali. And another thing which I really love, which you portrayed, is sometimes we of course feel that it's very difficult to manage the switch on switch off, because you are, say for example, you're talking to your child and you're angry, and you want to display your discontent, and the next moment you are with your hospital staff or you're with your patient, where you have to still show a very happy face. So there will be a lot of times that doctors put on a face because they have to act absolutely calm and composed. And I believe the same comes for you at a position of authority. That, despite of the fact that there may be a lot of things happening in front of you, but when you're a boss, you still need to have that calm and composed mind to know strategically what to say when, and of course, still be the life of the party or the life of the room, to be followed. So thank you so much for giving us that inspiration, Dr. Rupali. And lastly, I would also say that I would really love to be a part of the Kolkata DNS Sari group whenever you guys are meeting up. So definitely one day all of us are going to come there and hijack your session as the vibe.
We'll invite you all. Surely, at some point we will do. Probably next winter, we'll do a nice. I was actually wanting to host the national meet for the NSK.
Yes.
So it just got, that was in 2025, but then
Yes.
probably do it in 27 or later this year.
Lovely. We'll look ahead.
So that has really been so nice. Now I would request you to join us in taking a photograph with the vibe. So at the count of 3, 2, 1, we just say be the vibe.
3,
2, 1.
Be the vibe.
Bye-bye.
Oh, what bolte hobe? Oh God, I didn't say. You have to say that. Be the vibe.
Yes. No problem.
Chalo.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1.
Be the vibe.
Super. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Hope you enjoyed too.
Really, very nice.
I kind of keep thinking that I could have done some more, studying and rehearse my answers, but I think it was okay.
No. It's always better to just be natural yourself rather than coming with rehearsed answers. So
this was so authentic. It's just like it just came out so
absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Invited to Calcutta anytime. Whoever is coming over, just to let us know. We have good food, good khana, good sari, everything. So
the SOPs are set, ma'am, right? Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Wonderful meeting you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Girls, join in on the link shared.